The story starts in Yongchuan City at Yum. Our primary character winds up hanging, attempting to take his life. As he starts to black out, pieces of his recollections flash before him, memories of battling warriors and being guided to kill everyone, even innocent people. The bodies of the fallen soldiers lie strewn about, suggestive of a war zone. Among the mayhem, only a woman and her child stay. The primary character, sobbing tears of blood, regains his consciousness. Hacking, he gathers his strength and pushes with his legs against the roof, hoping to break the rope. Desperate to take his life, he even resorts to consuming drugs, but they seem to have no effect on him. He bitterly ponders the futility of his existence, realizing that, even if he wants to die, he can't. The scene then moves to breaking news in 20 City that early morning, reporting the discovery of strange creatures wandering the streets. A huge fire breaks out, plunging the city into complete chaos. The city residents panic while the police scramble to determine the cause of this disturbing event. The government assures the public that they are committed to protecting lives and property, urging citizens to find shelter as quickly as possible. Our main character, intending to buy a bottle of water, visits a store where he observes people pleading for help and fleeing from the gigantic creatures. The creatures attack, devouring the helpless victims. The main character initially wonders if these terrifying creatures are mere hallucinations resulting from the drugs he took the previous day. However, he soon realizes the grim reality when one of the creatures lunges at him. Quickly dodging the attack, he retaliates with a powerful kick. After kicking the creature, the main character recalls that he drank no drugs the previous day. Instead, he had attempted suicide by hanging himself. The creatures launched a coordinated assault, but he quickly devised a plan, throwing a bottle of water to divert their attention and striking the creatures from behind. When one attempts to surprise him with an attack from the side, the main character anticipates the move and dodges it. He seizes the creature's arms and turns its own limbs against it. Eventually, he triumphs over all the creatures, stepping over their defeated forms. He unsheathes his sword, contemplating how he had considered various ways to take his life for a long time, but didn't want to die in a pathetic place like the store. Using the sword, he dispatched all the creatures that came at him, wiping out every single one of them. Looking over the destruction, the store now in ruins. Meanwhile, in the same store, a young man found himself engaged in a fierce battle against menacing creatures. Armed with a baseball bat, he swung it vigorously to defend himself. Amidst the fight, memories flooded his mind, recalling how he ended up in this dangerous situation. Everything started when he decided to skip practice with his mentor, Shikshu, and Go. Unfortunately, his plans were thwarted when he discovered that Mentor Go had passed away early due to illness. Initially enraged by the news, his anger soon dissipated, and he casually remarked that he would take a break and indulge himself before heading to the internet cafe. Intent on grabbing some snacks, he found himself in this particular store, facing off against the relentless creatures. Despite his brave efforts, the creatures managed to push him back, sealing his fate. However, just as they lunged at him with lethal intent, an unexpected intervention occurred. Out of nowhere, a frying pan came flying through the air, blocking the creature's attack and saving the young man's life. To his surprise, the one who had come to his aid was a skilled individual with lightning-fast reflexes. With a screwdriver in hand, this mysterious savior swiftly dispatched the 3 creatures without giving them a chance to retaliate. After defeating the 3rd creature, the savior quickly ran towards the remaining 2, effortlessly disposing of them. Turning towards the young man, he made it clear that to survive, he must follow his lead and obey all his orders. Shocked, but realizing he had no other choice in this dire situation, the young man reluctantly agreed. Alerted by a loud commotion coming from the adjacent side of the shop, he turned his attention towards the sound. The main character suddenly ran off to investigate, prompting the young man to grab his bat and follow closely behind. Arriving at a sporting goods area, they witnessed a horrifying sight. A powerful, hulking creature held a human's hand mercilessly, slaying anyone in its way. A woman clutching her child was the creature's next target, but a brave youth stood up, shielding her with a racket in hand. Taking the young man's bat, the main character rushed forward to save the child. Despite the creature breaking the racket, the main character managed to strike its face twice, though with little effect. He remarked on the immense power he felt, as if he were swinging the bat into solid rock. The creature retaliated, crushing the bat and launching a counterattack. Through quick evasion, the main character narrowly avoided its strikes. Seizing the opportunity, he grabbed the bottom of the broken racket and skillfully pierced the creature's eye with it. As he moved to finish off the creature, it let out a thunderous roar, freezing everyone in their tracks. The creature focused its assault on the main character, who was determined to break free. The main character screamed, forcing his body to move, and managed to block the creature's attack with the remnants of the bat. Despite his efforts, the force of the blow sent him flying through the air, leaving him momentarily incapacitated. At this point, the creature's attention shifted to the young man. Faced with impending danger, he regretted his decision to skip practice, realizing the dire consequences it had brought upon him. The frantic cries of the lady, pleading for the safety of her child, consumed the space. In a marvelous turn of events, the young fellow managed to break free from the immobilizing effect imposed by the beast. Suddenly, an unconventional quality appeared on his hand, throbbing with a surge of energy. Sensing the newfound power coursing through his body, he confidently reached for the bat, convinced that he could now vanquish the beast in his current state. Decisively, the primary character, known as Tihun, leaped at the beast's neck, swiftly wrapping a thin wire around it and initiating a choking grip. The beast, helpless under the firm grasp, couldn't fight back. Tihun motioned toward the young fellow, Hyun-wook, to deliver the final blow. Drawing strength from the energy emanating from his hand, Hyun-wook unleashed a devastating attack, finally killing the monster. Tihun and Hyun-wook endured another grueling 7 hours of battling beasts, successfully saving numerous lives. The store lay in ruins, a testament to the destruction that had unfolded within its walls. Those who survived did so by the skin of their teeth, and the toll of those who had died weighed heavily on everyone. The passage of time during those strenuous hours felt like 10 long years. Considering the gravity of the situation, Hyun-wook remarked that all the trivial issues he had faced in the past paled in comparison to the horrors they had just confronted. Tihun, the unstoppable hero, and Hyun-wook, the grateful survivor, shared a complicated bond. Despite their growing relationship, Hyun-wook still found it challenging to connect with Tihun fully. He harbored an insatiable curiosity about Tihun's background and origins. Reflecting on their current circumstances, Hyun-wook noticed that approximately 100 survivors remained amidst the staggering number of lifeless bodies. Without Tihun's intervention, the death toll would have been unimaginable. Tihun bravely led the evacuation efforts and fiercely battled the beasts. There was an unwavering determination in his eyes, as if he had grown accustomed to a life where such challenges were the norm. Hyun-wook found it difficult to grasp the absurdity of his current situation and surroundings. Suddenly, a peculiar pattern emerged on Tihun's hand, piquing his interest. Tihun instructed Hyun-wook to remove his gloves, and to their astonishment, the same mysterious pattern adorned Hyun-wook's hand as well. Both of them had become awakeners, unique beings with abilities beyond ordinary humans. Understanding the current conditions proved challenging, as limited information existed. Only a small percentage, around 4 to 5%, of the human population had the ability to awaken their dormant capabilities. To ensure effective communication in their current situation, Tihun instructed Hyun-wook to assign simple names to any new objects or phenomena they encountered, recognizing the importance of quick information exchange. Hyun-wook examined the bat he held, speculating that it might be connected to his sudden acquisition of abilities. Surprisingly, he quickly adapted to the newfound strength, even contemplating his potential success in significant organizations. What surprised him even more was the ability to observe both Awakeners and Beasts' abilities through their phones. Hyun-wook wondered whether he had somehow entered a game world after spending countless hours in internet cafes. Following Tihun's orders, Hyun-wook assisted in moving the beast carcasses to the butcher's shop inside the mall. Suspicious of Tihun's intentions with the bodies, Hyun-wook noticed the bloodstains on his clothes, hinting at a possible reaction. Tihun used a knife, a small hatchet, and a blade, utilizing his skill to manipulate and control objects. He proceeded to share all the information he had gathered with the remaining survivors. Although fearful, they had no choice but to place their faith in the mysterious figure before them. Without Tihun's intervention, most of them would have succumbed to the beast's attacks. In fact, Tihun had recently taught a lesson to 3 miscreants, further solidifying his reputation and gaining trust from the people. Remarkably, even without his powers, Tihun could have easily subdued the 3 agitators. The time now stood at 10:33 p.m. As the survivors gathered, Taehoon announced his intention to explain the current situation. Suddenly, a woman approached Taehoon and Hyun-wook, revealing herself to be another awakener, curious about the pattern Taehoon was discussing. She inquired about the mark on her own palm, seeking answers. Hyun-wook recognized her as the brave woman who had confronted the agitators earlier. Taehoon responded, stating that survival in this chaotic world required selfishness. However, he had already revealed all his knowledge about the pattern, deeming secrecy pointless. He added that the survivors could repay him by providing the mystical spheres found inside the beasts. Unfamiliar with the term mystical spheres, the woman sought clarification. Hyun-wook explained that he had coined the term for easier communication. Mystical spheres referred to a type of stone found inside the beasts' bodies. According to Taehoon, everyone could see their own abilities, unique powers, and the beast stats on their phones. By consuming these mystical spheres, humans could enhance their own abilities. Taehoon then addressed the woman, informing her that they could no longer remain in their current location. Bewildered, she questioned his reasoning, citing the ample food supply and functioning power system, and expressing hope that rescue teams would arrive soon. Taehoon countered, stating that their current shelter was temporary due to safety concerns. He expressed doubt about the likelihood of any rescue teams arriving, as he believed the outside world to be equally dangerous. Confused, the woman asked how he could make such claims about the outside environment when he had only explored the underground of the mall. In response, Taehoon suggested relocating to a nearby railway station as a temporary solution. He explained that the creatures they had encountered could suddenly appear anywhere, including at the mall's entrance. If the creatures had managed to infiltrate the premises, it was crucial to leave immediately. The woman grew frustrated, shouting that everyone was exhausted, particularly the elderly and patients among them. Just as tensions escalated, Taehoon sensed a nearby presence and warned everyone to stay away from the entrance. Suddenly, the entrance was destroyed, and an imposing beast emerged. The creature attacked several people with great ferocity. Using his skill to control the beast, Taehoon pushed it back, noting that the beast's unexpected appearance provided him with an opportunity to test his newfound ability. Taehoon used his ability, strongly immobilizing the beast. However, the beast persevered, pushing through despite his efforts. Noticing the beast's extraordinary nature, Taehoon knew breaking its neck would be easy with his acquired steel-bending strength. Yet, Taehoon reached his limit and urgently instructed Hyun-wook to clear everyone from the scene. Suddenly, the beast broke free from Taehoon's grip and launched an attack on him. Reacting quickly, Hyun-wook intervened by striking the beast directly in its weak spot with a dumbbell. Unfortunately, the attack proved futile, and the beast retaliated, sending Hyun-wook flying through the air and causing significant damage. Taehoon's energy quickly drained, but as the beast charged towards him, he skillfully dodged its attack by running towards the nearby wall. The force of the beast's charge easily smashed through 3 layers of walls. Seizing the opportunity, Taehoon grabbed a gas canister and flung it at the beast. He swiftly followed up by lighting a lighter, resulting in a massive explosion that engulfed the beast. The onlookers were filled with fear. Taehoon immediately rushed to Hyun-wook, concerned for his well-being. Following Taehoon's command, Hyun-wook expressed his pain while the woman nearby worried about his broken ribs possibly puncturing his lungs. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Taehoon acknowledged that Hyun-wook had sustained serious injuries but recovered quickly. Realizing the reason behind his rapid recovery after the previous battle, Taehoon concluded it was due to his fast healing ability. Understanding the dangerous nature of their surroundings, Taehoon instructed Hyun-wook to evacuate everyone and asked the woman, Sun Mai, if she knew how to drive. He directed them to find a large vehicle and wait while he dealt with the beast. The people began their escape while Taehoon prepared for the impending fight. During their escape, they were attacked by smaller beasts, but Hyun-wook quickly intervened, taking down the creatures. Finally, they reached the exit while Taehoon continued his battle with the beast. Taehoon tried every sharp weapon within his reach, but none proved effective. The beast charged at Taehoon. Meanwhile, outside the store, people had gathered, witnessing the chaotic scene unfolding before them. Shocked and filled with despair, they believed their fate was sealed. Amidst the chaos, Sun Mai spotted a bus nearby. Without hesitation, she and Hyun-wook ran towards it. Suddenly, Taehoon and the beast burst through the store's window, crashing onto a car below. The impact crushed the car, and the beast pushed Tihun away. It was evident that the beast was formidable. Tihun urgently urged Hyeon Wook and Sun Mai to stop standing there and run. He quickly grabbed a warning sign, intending to use it as a weapon. As Hyeon Wook and Sun Mai reached the bus, Hyeon Wook asked Sun Mai if she knew how to drive it. Sun Mai admitted that she couldn't, but she believed it was similar to driving a car. However, they needed the key to start the bus. Luckily, Sun Mai found it just in time. Meanwhile, Tihun displayed his impressive agility by dodging and counter-attacking the beast. The spectators were stunned by his skills. Despite his efforts, the beast managed to snatch the warning sign from Tihun's grip. Wasting no time, the beast hurled the sign at Tihun, but he skillfully dodged it. Suddenly, Hyeon Wook and Sun Mai, with Sun Mai in the driver's seat, drove the bus directly at the beast and Tihun. Reacting quickly, Tihun leaped out of danger while the beast collided with the bus. Sun Mai applied maximum acceleration, causing the bus to come to a sudden stop. Seizing the opportunity, Tihun used his abilities to break the beast's neck. Overwhelmed by the force and the bus's speed, the beast succumbed, and Sun Mai drove it through a nearby wall. Finally, Tihun felt a sense of triumph, sporting a sinister grin. He mused about his victory over the close brush with death and wondered if he had just attempted suicide. Meanwhile, inside the bus, Hyeon Wook checked on Sun Mai, ensuring she was okay. Sun Mai playfully remarked that it was the second time he had almost killed her and jokingly told him to get off her. Once they exited the bus, they saw Tihun wielding a knife near the defeated beast's corpse. Sun Mai observed his actions, realizing that her perspective on the world had been skewed, and Tihun's behavior served as a wake-up call. She had an overwhelming urge to scream but refrained, considering the bizarre circumstances. Tihun seized the mystical sphere and swallowed it. Sun Mai recognized that she would soon understand his reasoning, but she chose to say nothing. In this surreal situation, as a medical student for years, she had encountered numerous corpses. The stench of death emanating from the scene suggested that Tihun was much like a demon emerging from a sea of cadavers. After the intense fight had concluded, Hyeon Wook retrieved his phone and examined Tihun and Sun Mai's statuses. He found that Tihun had significantly risen in rank, showing remarkable progress, while Sun Mai had considerable abilities as well. Tihun began preparing essential items for their next move. He gathered gloves, a hat, non-reflective dark clothing, and high-calorie, long-lasting food. The rest of the group initiated packing their belongings. Once the preparations were complete, they headed towards the town hall. Fortunately, no beasts were present there, prompting a sigh of relief. However, Tihun suggested that they should keep moving, this time only allowing those who had awakened their abilities to accompany him. Although he didn't force anyone, most people refused to join, focusing solely on their own survival. Yet, a few individuals expressed gratitude towards Tihun and hoped that he would stay with them to face the ongoing disaster. Despite their pleas, Tihun left silently, followed by Sun Mai and Hyeon Wook. Sun Mai commented that she didn't see Tihun as selfish because the town hall contained ample supplies of food, medicine, and weapons. Before leaving, they used vehicles and fireproof doors to fortify the defense perimeter around the town hall. Additionally, they found a pathway leading to the train station. Although uncertain about the situation outside, they recognized the inherent danger of staying and waiting for reinforcements, which would likely result in a massacre if they brought everyone along in such perilous conditions. Thus, their journey continued. Tihun instructed the group to head towards the central army base, with plans to gather weapons from the police station along the way. He took the lead position, emphasizing the importance of Hyeon Wook maintaining a vigilant watch behind them and staying aware of their surroundings. Any small mistake could cost them their lives, so they needed to keep a high level of alertness until they reached their destination. Upon arriving at the police station, they found all the officers dead. Tihun examined one of the corpses and informed the group that they had been deceased for approximately 6 to 7 hours. There were no remaining bullets in sight. Tihun instructed Hyeon Wook to remove the bodies and barricade the doors and windows while he searched for the armory. Meanwhile, Sun Mai sensed something unusual in a bag on the ground. She opened it and was stunned to find a strange cup that evoked a curious sensation inside her. Tihun approached her as she acted oddly. She apologized and urged him to examine the cup. Hyeon Wook remarked that it was just an old, broken cup, but Sun Mai insisted that something was off about it. When she handed her phone to Tihun, It indicated that the cup was a level 7 holy grail capable of using mana points to create healing holy water. Hyun-wook couldn't contain his excitement, but quickly realized the danger of attracting beasts with his loud outbursts. He apologized for his carelessness. Sun Mai took the cup and began using her mana points to create holy water. However, she became exhausted as she had used too much mana. Sun Mai applied a few drops of the water to Taehoon's injury, and it immediately started to heal. Hyun-wook exclaimed that Sun Mai appeared to be the healer they needed. Taehoon commented that although the risk was significant, the reward wasn't too bad. He then informed them that they would need to visit the museum after their stop at the army base. From his coat, Taehoon retrieved 2 Smith & Wesson Model 60 revolvers with 5 bullets in the chambers. He instructed them to aim for the head and chest if possible. Hyun-wook and Sun Mai took the weapons, but Taehoon reminded them that they couldn't practice at the moment and would have to wait. Suddenly, a powerful presence approached, its mere presence overwhelming Hyun-wook and Sun Mai. Taehoon went outside to investigate the source of the presence and saw a giant dragon soaring above. He remarked on the dragon's terrifying nature, wondering how they were supposed to defeat such a creature. Taehoon returned to the station to find Hyun-wook and Sun Mai on the ground, coughing and struggling. Hyun-wook assured Taehoon that he was fine and urged him to check on Sun Mai, who had fainted. Taehoon quickly performed artificial respiration on her and applied pressure to her heart. Her heart was beating, but she wasn't breathing. It was then that Taehoon noticed the Holy Grail. He took it and gave it to her, and she regained consciousness immediately. It became apparent that the holy water had a potent healing effect. Taehoon decided it was time to rest before proceeding further, as the clock ticked away, with Taehoon overseeing them and refusing to rest.